Here we go. Welcome. Today we're going to talk about this awesome hot hatch, this 2022 Hyundai Veloster N. It features a turbocharged 4-cylinder engine pumping out 225 horsepower. This one features an 8-speed automatic transmission, a wet dual clutch 8-speed automatic that features an overboost function that can temporarily raise the torque, I think by another 10 or 15 pound-feet for extra power and performance. And you have these really cool steering wheel paddle shifters. You have presets, so you can make individual changes to the transmission. This has adaptive dampers, limited slip differential. It's a very configurable vehicle. You have these very comfortable, supportive bucket seats, very aggressive styling. This thing is so much fun to drive. If you are feeling a little bit bored in your life, you need to add a little spice to your daily commute. So unfortunately, the Veloster is going away along with the N. The N brand will still live along. The N brand will still live on with a similar engine and powertrain components in the N version of the Kona and the Elantra. But the Veloster was a really cool vehicle, very unique styling. Unfortunately, two-door coupes, small hatchbacks aren't a very big selling point in the US market. Not enough to pay the bills, so unfortunately the Veloster brand will is going to end with that. But if you're looking for a nice Veloster, if you're a fan of this product, this is a nice clean Carfax example. Only 23,836 miles. It's in beautiful shape inside and out, really nice color combination. And it's practical everyday driver, relatively fuel efficient. The ownership costs are not extravagant like a high performance BMW or AMG Mercedes, but it still offers a lot of driving enjoyment and some amazing handling. We'll take it for a little spin and see how this thing performs ourselves. So we have these very comfortable and supportive bucket seats. Looks like they could have, I don't think they are Recaro, but they could have been made by Recaro just by the contouring and design. Very, very comfortable. You have this kind of nice leather trim on the sides with nice stitching. There's that 8-speed automatic transmission. We have a navigation system on this one, rear parking camera. Really nice leather up steering wheel, feels wonderful in your hands. You have the little N insignia there. I like the blue colors. There's a lot of blue accents on the Veloster N. The steering wheel paddle shifters. We have a lane departure warning. We have departure warning, a blind spot warning. Fantastic safety features, an Infiniti sound system, aluminum pedals. And the Veloster is kind of funny because on this side, I also like the blue seat belts. On this side, it looks like a two-door, but when you go over to the other side, we have two doors. So yeah, it's kind of like a little bit of a funky design. I don't think there's any other vehicle in the past or in the future that's ever had a configuration like this. One door on one side, two doors on the other. It does make sense because on this side, most people will park along the curb and the sidewalk. So if there are passengers getting in the back seat, more likely than not, it'll just be easier to get in and out through this way versus the other side where you'd have to get out in the street. Maybe that's the logic behind it. We have this nice spoiler mounted above the rear window. Underbody diffuser, really large exhaust outlets. This thing sounds really nice. It's a really well-tuned. Sometimes it's not easy to make a 4-cylinder engine sound good, but Hyundai engineers, they did a great job. It snap, crackles, and pops. You have these high-performance tires, these low-profile tires, and these nice alloy wheels, Pirelli tires. You have these nice side sills as well, giving it a little bit more of an aggressive stance. Front end styling is a little bit more aggressive too. A little bit more aggressive lower spoiler. You have the red and black accents, the LED strip around the bottom of the headlights. This thing definitely has a more aggressive look to it than your basic run-of-the-mill Veloster. And there's a fantastic turbocharged engine pumping out 275 horsepower. And then, as I mentioned, with the 8-speed automatic, it's got an overboost function to temporarily raise the torque. All right. Let's get behind the wheel of this bad boy, take it out for a spin and see how it accelerates and handles. All right, we're taking this 2022 Veloster N out for a spin. I got the drive mode selector in sport mode, so it's gonna have the dampers, the limited slip differential, the engine transmission, steering, all set to sportier setting. It's a very highly configurable car. You have these buttons right here to access drive modes. I don't know if this is the preset or if maybe this is like the extra sportier setting. I don't want to get too crazy. I don't want to like shut off the stability or traction control. So already just, you know, driving this thing, I can feel the transmission kicking down a little bit more aggressively. It's holding out the gears a little bit longer before it shifts, encouraging a more sporty type driving dynamic. You're obviously going to have a little bit more road noise with a vehicle like this, especially with those low profile, high performance tires. You're not going to have quite as much soundproofing as like a Lexus or a Mercedes. That's to be expected in a vehicle like this. But it is a little compromise to make for extra performance. All right, got a green arrow. Once I get it pointed straight, I'm going to mash the throttle and see how it accelerates. Here we go. Very nice. Obviously, you have 270 horsepower and that overboost feature. No problem at all. Getting up to speed. You do have the manual pedal shifters, but I find with these automatic transmissions, even the sportier dual clutch ones, generally if you let the car leave the engine, the car's computer up to handling the gear changes, it does just as good, if not better, than a human does. And you know, kickdowns are really nice. Got this guy in a Mustang who wants to race me. I'm not gonna race you. Go ahead and have fun, buddy. Test the roll on acceleration a little bit. I'm going to slow down, then I'll mash the throttle, see how the roll on acceleration is in this thing. All right. Yeah, it kicks down really nice. Passing is very easy to do in a vehicle like this. You know, obviously there's a little bit more road noise and stuff on the highway, but it's not too bad. It's got a good stereo system that'll help, you know, cover up a little bit of that road noise, listen to your favorite tunes. So it does rev match downshifts, which is really nice. Then it won't let you downshift to a certain point, so it's not letting me go below third gear at 60 miles an hour because that would over rev the engine. The transmission shifts are very quick. So, you know, this actually is a pretty responsible manual setting. Some of them I get too annoyed because there's too much of a delay in shifting gears, but this is very quick. Yeah, they did a really good job with this thing. And then you have 8 gears to play with. Nice passing power, and obviously this car does great in straight line acceleration, but the real test is the handling. This is where this car really shines. And you know, this is considered probably one of the better handling front wheel drive vehicles. There's a guy flying in this Camaro. Yeah, this thing really feels nice in the corners. Turning is really nice and crisp. Very nice feel. Yeah, you can tell this thing has a lot of grip. Very well put together suspension. This thing definitely is fun in the corners. I say it's probably a little bit more fun in the corners than it is in the straight line. I mean, this thing is pretty fast, but you know, cornering is a whole different thing. There's, you know, straight line acceleration can be good, but the whole joy of just, you know, taking a nice car through a nice winding road, there's a lot of joy to be had in that too. And this one can do it very quickly. Lots of grip, a little bit of lap traffic here. I'm not going to go too crazy, we're on public roads, but obviously this thing could be taking this corner a lot faster than that Corolla. Hopefully it's not getting back on the on-ramp. Yeah, this thing has just tons of grip in the corners. A lot more grip than all these other cars. Yeah, very fun car to drive in the corners, in a straight line, all around great. Sport hatchback. It's a car that checks off a lot of boxes. It's relatively practical. You have a rear hatch, you have back seats. With its 4-cylinder engine, it's not gonna, you know, drink fuel like a V8. I think insurance costs are relatively reasonable maintenance costs. So if you're looking for a fantastic sports car on a budget, if you're looking for a nice little sporty commuter vehicle, the Veloster N would be a great one to consider. Does fantastic in these high-speed sweepers. Yeah, and curvy roads like this, you could just be going around these curves all day long, and it's absolute fun. It's like a real live video game. Forget, you know, playing video games on your Xbox. When you have this thing, you don't need it. This is a tough spot right here. Well, it's no surprise that this thing is kind of a darling of the automotive press. If you're a fan of a relatively affordable hot hatchback, the Veloster N, it checks off a lot of boxes. And for the grand finale of this nice last corner, let's see how it does with some straight line acceleration. There we go. Woo! Yeah, this thing is an absolute blast. All right, time to behave and take it back to the dealership. That's enough for the fun. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you soon, and have a wonderful day.